We are here, and you are, well, where you are, with Mike and Mike's Off-Air Podcast. Mike Pesto.
And Mike O'Neill, the new Mind 97.5.
I thought we might spend the entire time this time around, and we'll see how far we get into it, 15, 20 minutes or so, talking about, and I think we've touched on this before, concerts we've seen, artists we've seen in venues that are memorable for one reason or another. And mention that because of the big show that's coming up Friday, depending on when you watch or listen to this. We have Sixpence None the Richer and Toad the Wet Sprocket at Adventist Health Amphitheater in Tulare, a venue that you have not seen a concert at yet.
Nope, it didn't exist 12 months ago.
No, it's been about that. It was it Clay Walker? I think was the first to perform there.
Has it been a year already?
It's thereabouts. I want to say it was the tail end of summer when Clay Walker performed there, and there were aspects of the venue that weren't up and running yet. Don't think the restrooms were there. They had porta potties. Yeah. Some of the grass wasn't in yet, but Clay Walker apparently really wanted to be the first to play that venue, and they made the accommodations, and he was.
There are a lot of great venues out there. So you want me to talk about a specific venue that I thought was amazing for one reason or another?
Not even necessarily amazing, just ones that...
Memorable?
Like I would...
I got one.
Okay, so right out the gate, what do you got?
I grew up in Southern California. I have seen more than my share of rock concerts at large stadiums.
Yeah.
Anaheim Stadium in particular. And I remember at both of the concerts I can think of immediately, there were probably 70,000 plus people in there.
Okay.
Because the stage is at one end, and people are on the grass, covering every blade of grass, going up to the stage and up where people are to watch baseball.
Okay, so this is where the Angels or the...
Yeah.
They're still the Angels, right?
Yes. This is not a venue in a situation where you want to hear somebody yell fire, because nobody's getting anywhere quick. And I just remember thinking, I've never seen this thing so full. I've seen baseball games. And then it's really getting going at the end, right? You know what I mean? Big cheers. And I'm looking at the decks, and you can see the decks moving.
Okay.
Up and down, up and down. And I'm like, I wonder if those ever did that before a baseball game. I think we're discovering the earthquake flexion and protection with 80-plus thousand people in that they never expected. That was memorable and a little scary.
And I apologize if you mentioned the artist, but who was performing there?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I've seen Ted Nugent, Kiss. I've seen everybody there.
Okay.
Everybody.
So you've seen more than a few shows on that baseball field.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm surprised, as a Dodger fan, I guess maybe it just depends on the artist, then. Have you ever seen a concert? You haven't.
No. Well, keep in mind.
I have you beat in that regard, then.
I grew up 10 minutes from Angel Stadium. So that's good. That's my home concert stadium because it's right there by the house.
Yeah, I saw Fall Out Boy, Weezer, and Green Day in the tail end of the pandemic. So we were all still supposed to wear masks out there. Some did, some didn't. I had mine on for the most part, and I think I took it off at one point just because, okay, listen, it got a little toasty, and having that on was a little suffocating at one point, but had a great time. And I thought about you, actually, as I was on the field, because we're actually in the outfield of Dodger Stadium. Now, I didn't walk around much because that's not my park. However, I did, when I was living in Peoria, Illinois, get a chance to see Darius Rucker open for Rascal Flatts at Wrigley Field. And
nice.
Believe you me, before that show started, I walked around every inch of the outfield, the infield.
You didn't miss a corner.
Tried getting in the dugouts as best I could. I reached around. They had the tarp with the ivy. That's the big thing Wrigley Field's known for. I reached around the tarp, and I actually touched the ivy. And got a chance to get backstage and meet Rascal Flatts, so I got into an area of the bleachers, underneath the bleachers, that you don't typically get a chance to go to. So it was getting a chance to see two phenomenal artists, but for me more so it was, I'm on the field at Wrigley.
Yeah. Yep. The other ones that I would remember, and only insofar as, I mean, and this is sort of common knowledge around here, so many, when I was on K-Jug, so many country artists loved to play the Hanford Fox because of how good it sounds in there.
I've never seen anything there. A movie. I've never even been inside the doors to this point yet.
I've seen a bunch of concerts there, and there's just something about the physicality of the place. It sounds great, and anybody that's been there a lot, you know about the Wall, and the Wall is upstairs in the balcony,
Okay.
a little bit left of center where the Wall begins, and it's kind of just a little off center to the stage. And right there, the sound focuses so incredibly clearly and wonderfully. It's just a weird function of the geometrics and the mathematics of the setup of that spot. And so we would all, I would stand up there with Danny Hummison on the Wall, because that's where he was, if not down below, where you can get a beer. But it's just a great sounding venue, and I remember how many artists commented to me, "Man, we love playing here. It sounds great here."
Now, I'm assuming the folks at the Hampton Fox are aware of that
Oh, yeah.
sweet spot, as it were. Did you pay, or do most people have to pay a little extra to sit in that sweet spot?
It does. It's only 10 people can stand there.
Okay.
It's 6 to 8 or 10, and everybody just moves around.
Gotcha. Okay,
It's just
so
it's just like, oh, see,
you
God,
would think,
that's crazy.
now, if I'm the venue owner and I realize this is the best place in the house just acoustically, I'm making sure I sell that point. And yes, this is a place you can stand in for a little while for an extra $10-15.
Now get the heck out. My turn.
You heard your song and a half. Now move out for the
Yeah.
next paying customer.
Well, just a lot of venues have those kinds of
Yeah.
things. I saw a concert a million years ago, 1978 at Red Rock, and that's
You've been to Red Rock.
yes,
Wow.
I have.
Okay.
And you'll hate who I saw because it was pretty amazing.
Uh-huh.
I saw Heart opening for Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, what a tour that was.
Yeah. And the way the stage aims up at the bleachers, or call them what you like, the seats,
Yeah.
going up the hill, it just captures it like it's kind of the same vibe as at Hollywood Bowl, only in a not quite. They're not, I think I don't know which venue's bigger actually.
I
But-
would think I've not been to either, honestly, but I've seen pictures of both. My impression is Red Rock is, and it's just a venue that you hear so many people rave about. Not so much acoustically, and you can attest to it one way or the other because you've been and I haven't, but just the fact that you're there on stage, and if I'm correct, as you're standing on the stage to stage right, is you see the mountain, and
Yeah.
they illuminate it red. So that's why it has its name, because you're right up against this mountain range.
Well, because the seats go straight up like this, I can't imagine that they need a gigantic flying array, because the seats capture all the sound. It doesn't just bounce off into anywhere far away. It just sort of captivates it.
I would imagine, though, as a sound engineer, though, you got to be cognizant of the sound bouncing off the rocks, and how do you configure the speakers to do that? And there are people who make a lot more than you and I combined, that when stadiums like that are designed and built, every little nuance of that sound is taken into account, because you got paying customers that are sitting everywhere in that stadium. They still want to have the best sound experience they can.
Yep, and you do your best trying to patch it up. And where different chunks of speakers are, you can acoustically time delay them.
Okay.
To make up for, the smarter people than me do the math to make that work, and then it's like, oh, there it is. All right, now it's in real time all over the room.
So any other venues that may be renowned venues, again, being in Southern California, have you ever seen a show at the Hollywood Bowl?
No, I never. Yes, well, but not a rock show.
Really? What did you see?
My father, all he listened to, and as a result, I know a lot about it, is classical music.
Okay, I heard they
And
do that.
My father and I have seen Handel's Messiah twice
Okay.
at the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay.
And so I know you got to stand up when the Hallelujah chorus comes. But it was just majestic. Just majestic.
How about the Rose Bowl? Have you ever seen a concert there?
No.
Okay.
I've never even been in the Rose Bowl.
I've
I've been in the Coliseum. I saw one of the festivals at the Yes Festival a million years ago.
Okay.
And most of them, and I have been in the Forum.
Okay. There's another one.
That's my first concert, actually.
Who'd you see?
Jethro Tull.
Wow.
Still love them to this day.
Okay.
I'm old, and I still think Ian Anderson and the boys were fantastic. And that was my first rock concert.
I saw, as far as venues that maybe folks have heard of, the Warfield
Yeah.
in San Francisco. I saw Oingo Boingo perform there when they were, this must have been 90, 91, 92, somewhere in that time frame. And just to be on that dragon, knowing that you were going into a venue, that Jefferson Airplane played and the Grateful Dead played in you get the definite feeling, though, if walls could speak. You almost feel the history of that place. And it was great sitting up in the upper deck, first row of the upper deck, and having the lookout and just waiting for the show to begin, and just looking around and just feeling the history of that venue and thinking about all the artists who came through and played that venue because of what it meant in the 60s and early 70s.
Well, it's funny because that would have been my junior. It was my junior year when I went to that. So that's in the late 70s, all right? And up until then, I didn't know what a contact high was. I found out what it was that day at the Jethro Tull concert because it was everywhere, just everywhere in that venue. And that's saying something because the LA police had a reputation of being very, very hard on concert goers.
Oh, really?
Oh, they didn't put up with anything.
Okay.
That's, I mean, a la when ICE showed up at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
The LA cops threw them out. They don't mess around. They do not mess around.
Have you ever seen anyone in the round?
No. Yeah. Yes.
Who?
Yes. In fact, it's at Save Mart Center.
Save Mart Center did a show in the round?
Well, as round as it gets. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Long oval, if you will.
Yeah.
Effectively an ice rink, right?
Yeah.
But it was Shania Twain. And
interesting.
She killed it.
Okay.
Shania's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I've seen her.
5'2" of her, by the way. You could throw her like a spear back then. She had 4 guys around her. Shania tore off the stage, up the aisles, up the stands, and down again.
Okay.
Gwen Stefani did that when I saw her at same venue.
All right.
And I was like, you are brave. Of course, she was a lot more vocal about, don't you effing touch me. Don't you effing touch me. As she's run up there. That's not Shania's style. But she was, it was a great show, actually.
I saw Chicago at a venue called Circle Star, just outside of San Francisco years ago. If you look it up, great venue. It was a venue that was specifically designed for artists to perform in the round. So it was a round stage, round seats all around it. I remember there was one guy whose job the entire time was to help lay the cable on the outside of the platform as it slowly spun, because it slowly spun around as he had to wind the cable so that there'd be plenty and obviously the band would get the sound that it needed. And I saw George Strait in the round in Phoenix years after that, but it wasn't a venue designed for it. It was where, again, hockey venue, and stage didn't move. He had 4 microphones set up in the square, and it was interesting. He would, because every George Strait song, if you know his stuff well enough, there's at least some guitar solo in it, short, long, whatever it is. So he would start a song at one microphone, and as it got to the guitar solo, he would slowly saunter over to the next stop, finish the song there, start the next song at that microphone. At the guitar solo, he would move on to the next microphone, and so on. Did that all night long.
Luke Combs and Ashley McBride did that a couple of years ago at the Bakersfield. I can't think of the name of it. Bank name. Mick starts with an M. Anyway, it's down there, and it was a good venue. But the first time I saw that as well, I'm like, oh, look at that. They're just going right around the horn. Oh, they're back. Hello. But it always sounds good. One more quick venue before we run out of time. Santa Barbara County Bowl. It's on Anapamu Street. In Santa Barbara. So I saw Ambrosia and Poco there. In 78. Sounded so good. I just remember thinking, wow, this is an outside venue and it really, really sounds good. Almost everywhere in there. It was a good sounding outside venue.
Are you planning on getting to the Toad Sixpence show coming up on Friday?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
You will be thoroughly impressed, I believe. Granted, it's a much newer venue, so it's got some extra bells and whistles, and they put a lot of thought into the arrays and everything else. And walking around the venue, and I think I mentioned to you, as you first walk up, because of where City Hall building is, you hear the slapback of the sound from the stage. And I thought, oh, no. If it's going to be like that inside the venue, there's going to be a lot of distracted people, especially towards the back end of the venue. Once you get in, though, you don't hear any of that bounce back at all. It's just what's there, and it sounds great. So there's a little free plug for Spade Entertainment and the great job that they did in setting up that venue. But have you ever seen a show at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk?
No, after all these years and after advertising all the shows on our sister station, I mean, I thought Eddie Money was going to be there forever. He unfortunately passed away, but he was there every summer, and Blue Oyster Cult was there. It seemed like every summer, but I never got to see a show. I hear that that's a great concert venue.
It's just the sound is okay. I mean, it's a wide open area because it's right there on the beach, and then the boardwalk is behind you. So the boardwalk is at your back as you're watching the show.
It's got that Jersey seaside vibe,
right?
It's
just the vibe of it because you can sit on the beach, you can sit on the steps, you can however you want to take it in. I saw Toad the Wet Sprocket there before the pandemic.
I'm shocked.
And they have not, as far as I know, and someone please do correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe, because they used to have this full summer concert schedule. Every other year, Mickey Thomas's Starship would play there, and they made a big deal about it. I can't remember his name now. The guy that came from Santa Cruz that went through American Idol.
Greg Kidd?
No.
I know Greg Kidd was out there a lot.
No, but there's someone who was on American Idol. So like a contestant on American Idol.
Huh.
I'm blanking on his name now. If I had multiple choice, I could tell you. But he's from Santa Cruz, and he has played that venue on occasion. I don't believe they had started concerts back up again at that venue since the pandemic. They've had other things going on there, but not artists that you would have known of. Colin Hay from Men at Work, when he was doing a whole solo thing, he performed there one year. So again, just kind of a cool venue just because of where you are, and then being a huge fan of the movie Lost Boys, and I forget the name of the band that played on there, the I Still Believe song with the saxophone. So that was actually shot there at that venue where they had a bunch of extras just in there. And as I'm watching Toad on stage, I'm thinking about this is where they shot Lost Boys.
Did any vampires show up?
Not that I'm aware of.